All right, good afternoon, guys. Today, what we are going to do is we are going to dive into a little list that I'm sure many of you have seen online. It's a list of, the name of the list is Can't See It in the View. Here's 33 reasons why. Um, I'm not sure who actually came up with this list. I wish I could credit him because it's a very useful list and it addresses a very common problem in Revit, which is losing elements or not seeing elements as you're placing them. So what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of go through this list one by one and discuss how elements are getting lost in a Revit model, and then we will show how you will then locate elements when they do get lost per the line item on the list. So um, what I've got here, we're gonna have a little fun with this. I'm a mechanical guy myself. As you can see by this wonderful tower that I have created for this project, I definitely am a mechanically inclined guy. So I was thinking we could, generally people play a game of where's my chair. Mechanically, I might want to kind of do where's my diffuser, but I am a van owner. As you can see on the left here, this is my van, so I thought we'd play a game of dude, where's my van? So without further ado, let's take a look at the first item on the list here. Why can't I see my item? One reason why would be because the item is temporarily hidden. This is an easy one. When an item is temporarily hidden, you can tell very quickly because there is a bright blue border around your view that says temporary hide isolate. So to show your item, what we can do is we can click on the reveal hidden elements. There is our element. And, oops, excuse me. We can also, what we want to do to reveal that element permanently is click on the temporary hide isolate, reset temporary hide isolate, and there's our van. Reason number 2, object category hidden in view. So what we do here, again, we click on the close reveal hidden elements, and then we click on unhide category up in our ribbon here, toggle reveal hidden elements mode off, and there's our van, and our van has a friend in this view, which is a plane. Reason number 3, object is obscured by another element. We can't see our van here, but we can see that there's a large train where our van would want to be. So if we move that train, we'll see that our van was actually there the whole time, only it was hiding behind the train. Reason number 4, objects subcategory is hidden in view. So for this one, I'm going to go into visibility graphics, and our van is actually a piece of entourage. Oops, I need to open up my filter list and go to entourage, and we can see that entourage isn't currently enabled to be visible in this view. So if I simply click the box next to it, enable the visibility graphics of the entourage category, our van should be visible, but it's not. Oh, excuse me, this is actually, I need to go under entourage and go all the way to the van subcategory and hit OK, and there's our van. So this was a subcategory issue with the visibility, not the category itself. Reason number 5, object is outside of the view range. So here I've got a little graphic to show how view range works. I'm going to go into our view range settings for this view and edit that. And we'll see that the cut plane is at 8 feet, which is above the roof of the van itself. What the cut plane does is cuttable elements that cross this plane will be displayed according to the cut properties of the element's object style. We'll also see that the bottom of our primary range is at 8 feet, which is above the roof of the van as well. And finally, our view depth level is at 7 feet, which again is above the range of the van. So I'm going to reset all these view range properties back to what would be kind of their default properties, having our cut plane at 4 feet, our bottom of the primary range at 0 feet, and our view depth at 0 feet as well. I'll hit OK, and there's our van. Moving on, reason number 6, section views far clip depth is not sufficient to show the object. This one's pretty easy. You have to be in a section view to have this be a problem. So I'm going to jump into this section here, and as we cannot see, I guess maybe be the appropriate way to say it, we can't see our van. So I will go back into our floor plan, click on our section to see that indeed the depth of the clip plane depth is set prior to our van. So if I just slide that out so it cuts into the van, go back into the section, there it is. And reason number 7, object resides on a work set that isn't loaded into the project. The van in this view I placed on a work set called level 6 van. If I go into our work sets, we'll see indeed a level 6 van is not currently loaded in the project. So if I just click on this work set, hit open, hit OK, there we go, we found our van. And reason number 8, object resides on work set that is not visible in view. To alleviate this situation, what we do is we go into visibility graphics, we go to our work sets, and we'll see that the work set that I've got all these vans placed on, called planes, trains, and automobiles, is indeed hidden in this view. So I will just go ahead and click show. I'll hit OK, and there's our van. Reason number 9, object resides on work set that isn't loaded in a linked file. So this would be a situation where our van is actually located in the linked file and the work set that that van is on isn't loaded in the linked file. To fix this, I'll go to the Manage tab and I'll go to Manage Links. I will click on our linked architectural model in this case, and I will click on the Manage Worksets button when I've got that link selected. And in here I can manage the work sets that are in that linked model. And we'll see our architectural van work set indeed is not opened. So again, I'll click on that. I'll click open. We will reload that linked model. And I'll hit OK. Oops. And our whole model disappeared. And let's see. Let's see why we aren't seeing our linked model. Okay, why did our model disappear? Well, this is definitely appropriate for today's webinar, that's for sure. Let's see. Let's try reopening the model here. Our model still is not there. So I'm just going to try to reinsert the link, see if this helps. Place it origin to origin. Still not there. Well, we'll move on. Well, number 11, this reason is object resides within a group and has been excluded from the group. So here you're going to see our plane and our train, but not our automobile. If I hover over this, we'll see that it's a group. So if I click on the group, I can click on Restore All Excluded, and there we are. There is our van. Number 12, object is part of a design option that is not visible in view. If I click on the design option pull-down menu here, and click on option 2, there's our van. See, and then I can go ahead and I'll finish editing, and I'll click on option 2, make primary, accept primary, and we can have our van permanently available. Reason 14, I'm going to skip level 13, or excuse me, reason 13, because our linked file isn't cooperating right now. Reason 14, object has one or more of its edges overridden to display as invisible lines. You'll see here that we can see the van, but we're not seeing the entire thing. What I can do is click on the van, or excuse me, I can go to my Modify tab, and I will click on our line work tool, and I can select the by category tool, and I can change these lines from their invisible line setting back to by category, at which point we'll be able to see the front end of our van. Reason 15, the object is a family and none of its geometry is set to be visible in the view type. Oops. So let's see. So I'm going to go into our family, filter out everything except for the geometry of the family itself. And if I edit the visibility of that family, I can turn off the plan view specific display properties. I'll load that back into project, overwrite it, and that's why we can't see the van now except for some detail lines that I missed. So what we would do to fix that then is, again, go into our family, edit it, filter out everything except for the van geometry, hit OK, edit the visibility graphics overrides of the family, and enable the view specific display in plan view. So hit OK, load that back into the project, and there's our van. Number 16, object is a family and none of its geometry is set to be visible at the view's detail level. We can see that our view detail level right now is set to medium, and we're expecting our van to be here, or we just placed it. So I'll do a window over the view. Oops. Let's see, it's not working in that view. So in this case, we can't see our van. I'll do a window over the view. So if you know it's there and you can't even select it, in this case, you might want to start by changing the view detail level. So if I change it to fine, there's our van. Number 17, the object is set to not be visible at the category's detail level. So in this case, if I go into visibility graphics and I go to our entourage category, we can see that the detail level of our entourage category is set to medium, and we can also see that the view detail level itself is set to fine. So if I change our detail level for the entourage category to fine, there's our van. Also, I could change the detail level of our view to try to find this van in this case as well. Number 18. For this specific situation, the element has been placed outside the view's crop region. The visible extents of the crop region, what I would do is I would look at our view properties, make our crop region visible, and if I drag this out to the left, there's our van. Number 19, similar to number 18, only dealing with annotation in this case. The element is an annotation object and does not reside entirely within the annotation crop region. So again, I'll go into our view properties and I will enable our crop region visibility. And if I click on our crop region, I can drag out the annotation crop, and there we go. This isn't actually a van, but it says it is, so we're going to go with that. Number 20, object's phase settings, or the view's phase setting, prevent object from displaying in view. So for this situation, if we can see that our phase filter is set to show new, and our phase is set to new construction. If we set the phase filter to show all, we'll see that there's our van right there. If I click on it, we can see that the van itself was created in the existing phase. And if I set that to new, there's our van with its normal current phase visibility. Number 22, the object is affected by a filter applied to the view. We'll just go into visibility graphics here. We will look at our filters and we'll see that our filter do not show van has the visibility turned off. So if I hit OK, there we go. There's our van. And number 23, the object is subject to an element override set to background color. For this one, what we're going to want to do is we know that we placed our van here. We'll do a window over the entire view or the area where we know we've placed it, and we'll filter out everything except for the entourage, the van itself. And once I've got it selected, I can right-click on our van and check overriding graphics by element. And indeed, we'll see that the projection lines, the van itself, the color has been set to white, which is the same color as our background. So I'll click on no override, I'll hit OK, and there's our van. Number 24, very similar to our to number 23. So again, I'm going to select the van, I'm going to locate it, I'm going to check none, then I will select our van again and override graphics and view, but this time I'm going to check by category. Maybe I've already checked by element, everything looks fine there. We'll move on to by category, and I can see here that we have projection lines. The projection line settings are set to white, so we'll do no override, and our cut line settings are set to white, so we'll do no override, and our van is no longer the same color as our background. Number 25, the object style is set to background color. This one's a little more difficult than others. We'll go to our manage tabs and we'll look at our object styles. And if we go to the entourage category and we'll look in here and we can see that indeed our van hidden subcategory is set to white. It's pretty easy once you get to these subcategories to see which one might be causing you the problem. It'll be the one where the color is the same color as your background. So I'm going to go ahead and change that to black, hit OK, and there we go. There is our van. Number 30, the view's scale is prohibiting the object's visibility. So we should be seeing something in this view right now. We are seeing nothing. If we look at our scale, we'll see that it's currently set at 1:1 scale. So if you see that, what you can do is just start bringing that scale down. I'll go ahead and set it to standard 1/8 inch equals 1 foot, and we're starting to see something. And I'm going to go ahead and keep bringing it down to 1/16, maybe 1/64, and we'll just keep going until eventually we can see there's our van. This is more of a problem when you're dealing with scalable elements such as annotation elements, symbology, and such. Hence the text saying I am the van and not an actual van itself. Some of the other reasons why you might be having a hard time finding your elements that you've placed in the model would include that the object is constrained to a scope box that is not visible in the view. The extents of the object itself don't permit it to be seen. That would be, for instance, if you have an object that is placed on a floor and within the family itself, it's got 12-foot offset, and your view range is set to 10 feet or something of that sort, something built into the family that's pushing the object outside of your view. Another reason why might be that the object is a mass and you have your show mass turned off in your settings. Another reason might be that the object's host view has been deleted if this is a hosted element. Another reason is the object is a linked instance with coordinates too great for Revit to handle, or perhaps the user has incorrectly identified the link instance to which the element belongs. And finally, the last reason we've got is the object is in a link that is not in its correct position. So these are many reasons why you might not be able to find an element that you've placed in your Revit model, or why you might not be able to see an element that you just placed. Bottom line, despite all that we've talked about here, there's really 6 big issues that are the most common, that being checking your visibility graphics, check your model settings, your link settings, and your filter settings. Also your work set settings in here, and also to check that your work sets are correctly loaded. Your view range is a very common reason why that your view range is incorrectly set, or you're placing items outside the view range without knowing. Just simply turning on your light bulb here, checking for hidden elements, checking for phasing issues, and finally design options. Those are really the most common ones. So yeah, hopefully this was helpful in adding some illustration to the troubleshooting tips that are in this list, and giving you an idea of how you might actually utilize this list to do troubleshooting on your visibility in your Revit project. And with that, I'm going to hand it back over to Scott here. And again, I want to thank everybody for joining us today, and hope that you found something useful in today's webinar.